Welcome to Timeless Bible Stories YouTube channel. Today, we journey into one of the most gripping stories in the Bible, the tale of Samson, a man of extraordinary strength, a divine calling, and a life filled with triumphs and tragedies. Stay with us as we uncover the lessons hidden in this epic narrative. Our story begins in the book of Judges, chapter 13. In a time when the Israelites were oppressed by the Philistines, God sent a message of hope through an angel. The angel appeared to Manoah and his wife, a childless couple, with a divine promise. They would have a son who would begin to deliver Israel from its enemies. This child, Samson, was to be a Nazirite from birth. He would abstain from wine, unclean food, and never cut his hair. His strength and purpose were gifts from God. But with great power came great responsibility, a calling that would test Samson's faith, character, and dedication. As Samson grew, it was evident he was no ordinary child. His parents faithfully followed the angel's instructions, nurturing him in the ways of God. Samson's life had a clear purpose: to challenge the Philistines, the oppressors of Israel, and lead his people closer to God. Samson grew into a man of unparalleled strength. His first recorded act of power was tearing apart a lion with his bare hands. Imagine the courage and might it took to face such a beast. This event was more than just a demonstration of physical power. It symbolized Samson's divine empowerment, a reminder that his strength came from God. But even as Samson celebrated his victories, challenges loomed ahead. Samson's story continued with his marriage to a Philistine woman. During the wedding festivities, Samson proposed a riddle to the Philistines, drawn from his encounter with the lion. The riddle read, "Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet." When the Philistines couldn't solve it, they coerced Samson's wife into revealing the answer. Betrayed, Samson struck down 30 Philistines in his anger, an act that set the stage for a life of conflict. This was just the beginning of Samson's tumultuous relationship with the Philistines. Time and again, his immense strength was used to challenge and defeat them, demonstrating God's power at work. One of the most iconic moments of Samson's life was his victory at Lehi. Armed with nothing but the jawbone of a donkey, he defeated 1,000 Philistines in a single battle. This act solidified his reputation as Israel's strongest warrior and an instrument of God's will. But Samson's life was not without its flaws. Despite his divine calling, he often strayed from God's path. One of the most significant turning points in his life was his relationship with Delilah. Delilah's beauty captivated Samson, but her loyalty lay with the Philistine leaders. They offered her a hefty sum to uncover the secret of Samson's strength. What followed was a heartbreaking tale of trust, deception, and betrayal. Night after night, Delilah coaxed Samson to reveal his secret. At first, Samson resisted, giving her false answers to test her intentions. But as days turned into weeks, her persistence wore him down. Eventually, Samson confessed. His strength lay in his uncut hair, a symbol of his Nazirite vow. Once his hair was cut, Samson's strength left him. The Philistines captured him, gouged out his eyes, and imprisoned him. The mighty warrior who had once struck fear into his enemies now appeared defeated and broken. Imprisoned and humiliated, Samson's life seemed to have reached its lowest point. But even in his suffering, he turned to God. In the darkness of his captivity, Samson's faith was rekindled. As time passed, Samson's hair began to grow back. With it came the hope of redemption. On the day of a grand Philistine celebration, Samson was brought to the temple to entertain the crowds. Blind and weakened, he was mocked and ridiculed, but Samson had one final prayer. He prayed, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more." With renewed strength, Samson pushed against the pillars with all his might. The temple collapsed, killing thousands of Philistines and Samson himself. In his death, Samson achieved his greatest victory, delivering a devastating blow to Israel's enemies. Samson's story is one of divine purpose, human weakness, and ultimate redemption. It reminds us that even when we falter, God's grace can still use us for His glory. His life teaches us about the power of faith, the consequences of disobedience, and the hope of restoration. What lessons have you drawn from Samson's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, stay inspired and keep turning your mindset toward God's truth. Thank you so much. See you soon. The next video